Believe it or not, quarter one, the first 25% of 2025 is in the history books. It is gone. It's funny to think that 25% of the year is already done. Crazy to think about because it seems like it was January just yesterday, and now spring is springing, flowers are blooming, it's beautiful weather. And so what we're going to do, what we always do quarterly, is review what's going on in the real estate market for our overall area. And we're going to break it down by parish and dig into the numbers. We're going to have some fun with it. Before we do, I would love to just go back with you to our January video that was the year in review. And think back, I mentioned that November, we had a good November, we had a really good December, and that was just this optimism that was in the market, that we could just feel it changing in a good way. And then that carried over after the holidays. And then middle of January, what happened? Like Snowmageddon. Like we had historic snowfall. Everything shut down for a week. People couldn't drive. It was, as a recovering Yankee, it was hilarious. And it was a lot of fun too. And then it was frustrating when we couldn't get around after 5 days because the roads were still closed. So what happened then in the real estate market is everybody said, well, I lost this week. I'm going back to work and we're going to wait till Mardi Gras. We're not going to buy. We're not going to sell. We're just waiting. Overall, of course, there were still transactions happening. Yet the overall kind of post New Year's wave that we typically get fizzled out after Snowmageddon. And so it made it for a slow January and a slow February. So after Mardi Gras Day, which was the beginning of March, Ash Wednesday, it felt like poof, like the floodgates opened and things got really busy. And what happened is that March basically saved Q1 2025. If that rush after Mardi Gras Day hadn't happened, it probably would have been a worse first quarter compared to 2024. And if you think back nationally to what happened in 2024, it was the lowest amount of home sales in 30 years. So really, when we look at the overall numbers, things kind of came out to be the same. But we're going to dig into it and look at quarter one 2025 versus quarter one 2024. And that's what we have here. We're looking at Jefferson, Orleans, St. Tammany, and Tangi. And I'm going to use this handy bar graph simply because it's going to be easier to read. On the right side here, this is going to show you the difference in the quarters. While it says March 2025, those data points reflect January, February, March of 2025 and 2024. So looking at sales price, the average sales price in Jefferson is up 9%, almost 10% in Jefferson. In Orleans, it's up 3%. In St. Tammany, 3%. And in Tangipahoa, the average price is up 11%. Now, let's look at the number of homes for sale in each parish compared to 2024. Number of homes for sale is up, basically call it 10% in Jefferson. It's down 3.8% in Orleans. It's up 25% in St. Tammany, and it's up 1.3% in Tangi. So right now we're seeing like home prices have come up for quarter one compared to 2024. Homes for sale are up. So that means there's more inventory. Let's look at pending sales. Because as long as the clip of sales matches kind of tracks with the new inventory coming on the market and the pricing, then it would make sense that prices go up, right? Pending sales. Pending sales, Jefferson Parish are down 8.3%, which is significant. Like pending sales down, home prices up, homes for sale up, like that number's increasing. So pending sales down, more homes for sale, fewer pendings, prices will come down. Orleans Parish, pending sales up 8%. That's great. I'm rooting for New Orleans because when New Orleans does better, we all do better. It's just a major driver of our area. It's an economic hub, and we want New Orleans to do well because then it gets national recognition and more people want to move here. Even though we've had some great, corporate signings, steel plant, other stuff going on. Meta's building something in North Louisiana. So good industry coming. So when New Orleans does well, that can attract more industry. St. Tammany, pending sales up 0.5%. Tangipahoa down 6.9%. Interesting. Remember what the sales price, how much that went up in Tangi? It was over 11%. And pending sales are down 6%. Probably because prices have gone up. It's less affordable for people to buy. Rates are still in the sixes, but they have come down. They fluctuate every day. So anywhere from, say, depending on your type of loan, 6.1% to 6.7%. So but to say that you can come in at about 6.1 or 6.2% is good. That helps buyers, right? that helps home sales. But if prices go up too much, it affects the number of pendings because insurance for where we live is still a thing, still a factor. Closed sales, number of homes sold 2025 first part through first part of 2024, down almost 15% in Jefferson, up 0.9% in Orleans, up 6.3% in St. Tammany, and down 6.5% in Tangy. Again, pricing it right makes a difference, as we can see. So Jefferson has to kind of come to terms with you. They need lower prices over there because the cost to buy is high. Cost of insurance, cost of flood insurance, days on market. Days on market says here that it's down 3.2% for Jefferson, which is good. That means fewer days on market to sell. Up in Orleans, up in St. Tammany, up in Tangy. So taking longer to sell, except everywhere in Jefferson, except for Jefferson Parish. Interesting facts there. All right, that's what we're looking for. This is my other favorite metric, is showings per listing. If you take all the homes that are for sale in the multiple list service, and we can track how many showings occur with a very, very close percentage. Probably we're capturing 99% of all the available showings. You divide those two numbers together and you say how many showings per listing. In Jefferson, you have 3.3 showings per home for sale. In Orleans, you have 2.1 showings per listing. In St. Tammany, 2.9 showings per listing, think per home for sale. And in Tangy, you also have 2.9 homes for sale. That dropped off a lot in St. Tammany, 14.7%. It's down in Orleans and it's down in Jefferson. And it's no change in Tangipahoa. So in summary, prices continue to increase, right? The number of pending sales has increased depending on your parish. The number of days on market is basically increasing in 3 of the 4 parishes. The showings per listing is decreasing in 3 of the 4 parishes. So really, looking at the market overall, we're about the same where we were last year. When you calculate all these pluses and minuses, it's about the same. Yet the feeling in the market is that we feel like we're coming out of it. In other words, it feels like there's more activity come March. We feel like there's more activity this March. And there's just, people are getting a sense of a new normal, and this is what we're going to be dealing with, and these are basically what the interest rates are going to be. But that's what we're seeing. Stay tuned, because I feel like April, May, June are going to be really good months. It's going to take hard work in the real estate market, and I hope you found this useful. Give the thumbs up on the content if you love it. Appreciate it. You can subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that too. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.